So good afternoon, everybody. Today we are looking at a multiple choice paper, right? So we are starting from question 1. You can look on my screen, although everybody should have a copy of this paper. If you don't, just take a look at my screen. It will be sent to you after the class, okay? Which of the following organizations will at some time be involved in office activities? Which of the following organizations will at some time be involved in office activities? Look at your responses, A, B, C, D. Whoever knows the answer, you can unmute your mic and give me an answer. I would like for everybody to participate, please, just like how you guys did yesterday. Who thinks they know the answer for this first one, for question 1?
The answer is D.
The answer, yes, the answer is D for number 1. Yes, that is correct. The answer is D. All of these businesses would be involved in office activities. You can read up more on office activities in chapter 1 of your textbook, right? Very good, right? So all of them will have to perform office activities. Let's look at number 2. You are a clerk in a small organization. Your supervisor is the secretary, and the head of the organization is a general manager. You feel that some improvements can be made to the filing system. Which of the following actions should you take? Somebody else who wants to answer question 2. Who wants to answer question 2? Balo, go ahead.
Mrs. D.
D?
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to try with that
Right.
Answer
question?
is A.
Answer is A. Yes, the answer is A. You know why? Because Bala, look at this. Let's something look at this question, right? Let's try to draw an organization chart, right? At the head of the organization is the general manager, right? Let me just pull up something so I can draw.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to go to the person above you.
Right. So remember, I'm just pulling the screen here. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. Right. So at the top, we have the general manager. Then under the general manager, we have the secretary. The secretary, they say, also act as the supervisor, right? And under that person, there is a clerk, who is you, right? Let me just go back to the question and make sure that's what I read correctly. So we have the general manager, we have the secretary, who is the supervisor, and you are the clerk, right? So that is perfectly correct, what I have here. Right? So this here is an example of an organization chart, which means if the clerk has something to discuss, the clerk will go who is before in command. So the clerk will actually go to the secretary. The secretary reports to the general manager. Understood? If the general manager has something to say to the clerk, the general manager goes through the secretary, and the secretary will then give the message to the clerk. But in this particular question, the question is asking here, you feel that there are some improvements to be made. So basically the question is asking, do you go to the general manager or do you go to the secretary? And the correct answer there is A, right? Now, if you guys read a question, like if it's too worthy, what you can do, take your paper, take your pen, and you can try to draw out what the question is asking so it becomes clearer as to what you are doing, right? So question 2, the correct answer is A, right? So you'll please note that. Question 3, which piece of equipment is most useful where we have to create replicas of original documents? Replicas of original documents. What device can we use?
Photocopier.
photocopier. Very good. Yes. So question 3, the answer is A. The photocopier is used to create duplicates or replicas of original documents. Very good. Let's look at question 4. Looking at the duties above, duties 1 to 5, which one of these persons do you think best falls under these duties? And I could remember starting this paper with you, and I could remember asking you guys to complete this paper as well. And that was the last day that we had class. So you all were actually supposed to work on this paper before today. So the duties above would fall under which one of these persons, A, B, C, or D? I want somebody else to answer. You can also respond via the chat. If you can't unmute your mic, you can message via the chat as well. Right, so the answer for question 4 would be the cost accounts clerk, right? They are all accounting duties, so they fall under the cost accounts clerk. Question 4D. Question 5. Your regular lunch hour is from 12 to 1. So from 1200 hours to 1300 hours, that's from 12 to 1. But you have an appointment between 1 and 2, 1300 and 1400. You have an appointment between 1 and 2. What should you request? A, B, C, or D? Which do you think is the most appropriate answer? Right, Dominic is giving me an answer here. So, and Dominic is telling me that the answer is D, and that is correct. Very good, Dominic. So the answer is you will switch with a colleague who has lunch from 1300 hours to 1400 hours. Very good. So you switch with someone so you don't inconvenience anyone. Very good. So yes, the answer for 5 is D. Right, so we did the first 5 questions. I'm moving on to the next page. Which of the following factors can contribute to repetitive stress injury? Repetitive stress injury.
Miss B.
B, let me see what is B. 1 and 2, yes, definitely. Right, if you take breaks, yeah, you would be good. Very good. So yes, the answer for question 6 is 1 and 2. So the answer there is B. Very good. Very good. Right, and that is something that we would have discussed early on. Right, that is something that was discussed early on, and that's in chapter 1 with related injuries. Right, repetitive stress injury means if an employee spends a long period of time working and performing the same task over and over, or working in an awkward position. So yes, so question 6, I agree, the answer is B. Okay, let's look at 7, 8. Take a few minutes. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Go ahead. Okay, so somebody is telling me that the answer for question 7 is B. Am I correct? Shavan, am I correct? Is that the one that you're talking about, question 7?
No, miss, the answer for number 7 is C.
Okay, so which one you want to give me an answer for? I see that you sent me an answer here, B. Which one is that?
B was for number 6.
Oh, okay. All right, so that was for number 6. So yes, you were also correct for number 6. And you are also correct for number 7. Because number 7, yes, the answer is C, right? An officer left last night for a 3-day conference in another Caribbean territory. You have just seen on your desk a copy of a letter which you should have prepared for his folder. Which of the following action would you take? You would C, tell him the details of the letter by phone. Why? Because that means that the officer should get a response immediately. So you call and you give him the details immediately, because any of these other options is going to take time. But C is going to be most appropriate because this is something that can be very urgent. And when we are looking at urgency, we have to choose the best medium of communication. And the best medium of communication here to get an answer would be your telephone, because you could get onto the person immediately and tell them the details of the letter. Very good. So 7 is C. Number 8, most appropriate purpose of a memorandum. So where do we use a memo? A, B, C, or D? Somebody else. A, B, C, or D? Jaden, take a shot at that for me. Question 8. Is it A, B, C, or D? All right, guys. So question 8, go ahead.
A.
A, very good, right? So memos are used to communicate within an organization. So yes, question 8, the answer is A. Very good. Number 9. And look at everybody, look at question 9. Do you all know an example where you all saw that circular letter? Can you remember when, about those of you who are in the EDPM class, can you remember when you all did the question where it had the piece where you had to type and it had the tear off slip, and you had to put the symbol of the scissors and put those dash lines? That is an example of a circular, right? That's an example of a circular, right? So it's basically a letter informing you of something, right? So so the question is, which of the following methods can be used for written communication to staff members? Is it 1, 2, 3, or a combination? Which is your answer here? A, B, C, or D? Written communication to staff. Right?
Miss,
Somebody is
is it B?
B. I'm seeing that somebody is telling me that the answer is B. B is what? B is 2 only. One other answer is also correct.
I
Yes,
said
letters is
D.
correct. D? No, not D. Not D. But letters is correct. So if letters is correct, it will be C. Very good. Yes. right? The answer there is circulars and letters. It will not be index cards on files, right? It will not be index cards on file because index cards on files only give information of what is contained in that file, right? But if you want to express anything to your staff and you have to do it in writing, it will not be on index cards on files. It will be via circular or via letter. So the most appropriate answer there is C, which is 1 and 2. All right, let's look at number 10. Number 10 entails using a telephone directory. So you're using a telephone directory to look for Thomson Electrical Services. When you're using a telephone directory, the first thing you would do is start off with what you're seeing at the end. So the first thing you would do is look for services. When you find services, you will choose a type of service. So you'll look for electrical secondly. And then the third thing you will do is find exactly who you want under electrical services. So you look for Thomson. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So your answer for number 10 is D. So if you're using a telephone directory to look for Thomson Electrical Services, you would follow all 3 steps in that particular order. So number 10, the answer is D. Number 11. Which of the following is not proper when answering the phone? Right? Not proper when answering the phone. Is it A, B, C, or D? And we're talking about a business environment, right? So which one of these is not appropriate at work? D, very good. Right? So number 11, the answer is D. Answering the phone with a cherry hello, and this is a question that we would have done multiple times as well. So I'm going down. Take 2 minutes and look at these questions for me from 12 to 17. I will call on anybody to answer them. Do go ahead from 12 to 17 for me. Last day when I did this paper, I would have stopped at question number 15 with you. I remember that clearly, and I told you to do dampening balance. So you should have until answers up to 15. Go ahead. Read it through and tell me what you will come up with. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Let's look at question 12. It is your first day at work. The office manager is discussing your duties with you in her office. During the course of the meeting, she leaves the room to attend to another matter. While she's away, her cell phone, which is on the table, begins to ring. Which of the following is the most appropriate action? A, B, C, or D? Which is the most appropriate action? Is it A, B, C, or D? Very good, Jaden. Very good. So the answer for question 12, Jaden is telling me that the answer is let the cell phone ring, because that phone and that telephone call has absolutely nothing to do with you. So you leave it alone. When the manager comes back in, she can feel free to return her call, but that has nothing to do with you. Number 13. A staff member has asked the receptionist to make a person-to-person call to Mr. Ray. Which of the following procedures should the receptionist use? So a staff member wants to speak directly to Mr. Ray. So what should the receptionist do for number 13? Very good, Dominique. Dominique has the correct answer for number 13. Number 13 is dial Mr. Ray's number, connect to the member of staff when Mr. Ray is on the line so that the staff member can speak directly to Mr. Ray. Yes, so number 13 is C. Very, very good. Right, so question 13, your answer is C. Question 14, who wants to take a shot at that one? That has to do with time zones. Question 14. Howard, do you want to take a chance to answer question 14 for me?
Yeah, miss, I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah. Think about it. Watch it. England is 5 hours ahead. So if it's 2 o'clock in Barbados, what time is it in England? So it's 2 o'clock now. What is 5 hours ahead of 2 o'clock? Tell me.
7
What is
o'clock.
5 hours ahead? It'll be what?
7
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. It will be 7 p.m. Now the question is, which one of these numbers here now represents 7 p.m.?
Hold on.
Remember, 12 remains 12. Remember, 1 changes to what? 1300. Then 2 changes to 1400. So keep going until you get to 7 p.m. for me and tell me which one of these answers here correct. Is it A, B, C, or D?
Repeat what you just said, miss.
Remember, after 12 noon, right? 1300 hours would be 1 o'clock. Then 1400 hours would be 2 o'clock. So 1400 hours is 2 o'clock. Then
Okay.
1500 hours would be 3 o'clock. Understood? So continue in that pattern. Tell me which one here represents 7 p.m.
C.
Very good. So if you follow that pattern all the way down, yes, your answer is C. 1900 hours would represent 7 p.m. Very good. So you see how to figure it out? So that's how you guys figure it out, right? So you start writing from 1 o'clock, which is 1300, and you number it all the way down, right? Number it all the way down to 7 and just fill in the numbers. Very good. So you'll get 1900 hours. Very good, Howard. Let's go next one. Let me go up here. Which one of these machines is not found in the mailing room? Which of these devices is not found in the mailing room? A, B, C, or D? Somebody else. Mamadou, do you want to help me with that one? But number 15, what is your answer for question 15? So I'm seeing that the answer he's given me is C. No, you would need a franking machine because the franking machine is the one that puts the stamps on envelopes, right? We use the franking machine to put stamps on envelopes, so you would need a franking machine. You would need a folding machine as well, because the folding machine is what would fold up pieces of paper to put inside the envelope. We could use our sorting machine because I will sort things according to maybe sizes of envelopes. The answer is actually A, collating, because that deals with photocopying. So the most appropriate answer for question 15 is actually A. All right, so question 15, the answer is A. Good, Shavin. Question 16. To which of the following departments should the mail clerk in a large company send a letter? The letter is addressed to the general manager and it outlines a complaint about the non-delivery of goods. Which one of these people deals with the assignment of goods? Assignment of goods to be sold. Which one of these departments here deals with assignment of goods to be sold and to be delivered as well? Is it A, B, C, or D?
A.
A, very good. Yes, your answer is A. So the answer is sales. Very good. Number 17. XYZ company has information from staff files which are currently kept in the general office has been leaked. Okay, so people have been taking the files and they have been leaking information from the files. Which action should you take that would most likely increase employee data security? Which one of these here do you think is the most efficient? I would go with, let me see.
Miss, the answer is C.
C, let me see what it's C. C is saying to use numerical filing system for staff files. And okay, so definitely I would agree with number 3 that says to ask each person to hold on to their file. That way everybody's more accountable. So I definitely go with 3. Let me see, store all, no, definitely not this one. Use the alphabetic filing system for staff files. Use the numeric filing system. Okay, maybe more a numeric filing system. So yes, I would go with that answer there. I would definitely go with C as being the, let me see, 17. Shavini, you said what there?
C, Miss.
C. 2, use a numeric. Okay, even if we ask each staff member to keep their files, then if somebody else needs it, it might become an issue, right? So that probably is out. Human resource management should keep all files on staff, and that will have some sort of accountability because if you go to get a file, you'd probably have to sign for it here. So let's go with the best answers being 2 and 4. So let's go with answer C. Right? Whenever you all get questions like this, always deduce what in each one. Always think which one is the best answers, especially when you have these kind of combination questions. Right? So question 17, we will go with C. I'm going to go down. Question 18. Another one where you all have a bunch of responses there. The accounts department requested a file from central filing system. Remember, central filing system is an area where all files are kept, and you will have a clerk in charge of the files, right? So they request a file from central filing department. What action should the clerk take? What action should the clerk take? It's a combination, so think. Which one you think? Definitely number 1 that says make a record of the written request, right? Because remember, anything that is written forms part of a record, right? So this shows that the person put what they're asking for. They would put it down on paper. So that is one piece of information that can be filed away. So number 1, I would go with number 1 for sure. Complete an outsheet. An outsheet is prepared by the clerk and you are actually signing for taking away the file. So I'll definitely go with 2 as well. Because 2 and 3 are related, but right, when you complete the outsheet, you have to sign for it. So 2 and 3 goes hand in hand. Send the file with a request for it to be returned in 1 hour's time. Even if you send a request for it to be returned in 1 hour's time, there is no paperwork here that says that that person is really going to return it within an hour, right? So I would go with something with 1, 2, and 3. Do we have anything that goes with 1, 2, and 3? A. So let's go with A. So question 18, I would go with A. Number 19. In a terminal digit filing system, a folder in position 7 on shelf 4 of bay 36 should be numbered. So let me just show you something. All right, just hold on. Look at what this looks like. So we are using the words, you are using the words, let's just go back to the question. We are using the words position, we are using the word shelf, we are using the word bay. So let's see what those words mean. Bay refers to the columns, right? Bay refers to the columns. Rows, the rows of your cabinets. So in this particular case, we have 3 sets of shelving. So your shelving has 1, 2, it has a total of 6 rows going across. You have a total of 3 bays coming down, and that represents the columns or the amount of storage that you have, right? The position would be, for example, like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7th one, right? Understood? So the position means the position that you have the file in. So bays are your columns, rows is what's going across, and the position, which is 7, refers to the order in which the file is kept, right? So I'm going to go back here. So in a terminal digit filing system, we have a folder in position 7 on shelf number 4 of bay number 36. So they're asking you, how should that file be numbered? So firstly, you will check, you will have the bay, because remember the bay represents the columns, right? So firstly, you would use your bay. So bay followed by shelf followed by position. So you read it, bay, shelf, position. So bay would be 36. So first you will have to locate that particular column. Then locate the shelf, and then in last, look for your folder. So the answer is 36, 4, 7. So that answer there is D. Right? So you are looking at bay 36. So you'll go down and find bay 36 first, right? So bay 36, then row number 4, and then you will look in row number 4. You will start counting, and you will get file number 7. Okay. So that is how you'd figure out that one. But the format is bay, shelf, position. So if I get a question like that, that is the format. So question 19, I will go with D. Number 20. Which of the following files will be most suitable for filing petty cash vouchers? Petty cash vouchers. Who can explain to me what is petty cash? When we talk about petty cash in a business, what is petty cash? Anybody?
Miss, the cash that you use for like the little things.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Yes, very good, right? Petty cash is those items, very small items. So like coffee, tea, a newspaper, sugar, stamps, right? Any little items you have to buy, those you are usually given something called petty cash, or the secretary is given something called petty cash. Now, when you purchase an item, the secretary is going to make you fill out a voucher, right? You are going to fill out a voucher which shows proof that you actually purchased something small for the organization. So the question is asking you, which one of these filing is best used to put away your cash vouchers? And the answer for this, so let's just go through process of deduction here. A circular rotary, that is used for call cards, right? That is used for call cards. A visible index would also be used for things that is made of card material and not of paper, right? And a voucher would be made of paper, right? A card wheel index, it also wouldn't be card wheel index because that also deals with cards. So the only answer here that does not deal with anything being a card is B, a concertina. And let me just show you a diagram of what a concertina looks like. Just hold, let me find a photo for you. And some of us probably even have one of this home that we use to file away documents. So it's basically a plastic folder, and you could label the plastic folder like January, February, March, and so on. And you put all your different vouchers into there so that it's easy when you are working out your accounting, and you could just pull your vouchers to enter the information from it, right? So that's the fancy name for this holder. It's called concertina. So I would go with number 20 being B. Okay, let's look at number 21. Microfilm will be most useful when there is limited space for the storage of. When exactly do we use microfilm? We use microfilm for which one? Which one you think there? A, B, C, or D? What is your most appropriate answer?
Inactive files, A.
Your answer is A, inactive files, right? Because microfilm is used basically for inactive files. Inactive file means those files that are not used very often. Remember what your microfilm looks like, right? So let me give you an example. Remember when we spoke about microfilm, I would have given you this as your example. And these little pieces of film is called microfilm. And you have a viewer in which you can look at your information, right? But microfilm is basically used for inactive data, which means that it's only used when I think someone has to go and pull data from somewhere else, right? So these little pieces of film is known as microfilm. So it's 2 o'clock now. We're going to pause for a 15 minutes break, and we're going to come back and we're going to continue looking at these questions. If anybody's back before the 15 minutes, I'm leaving these 3 questions up from 22 to 24, right? I'm leaving those questions up. So when you come back, I want you to look at those questions to me. Number 22 is actually a question we did previously. Which of the following would result in a supplier's file becoming inactive? Inactive meaning no longer in use. So which one of these would let this happen? A, B, C, or D?
B.
B, very good. Yes, if you stop buying from that particular person, the file becomes inactive and there's no reason to keep that file anymore, right? Because you're not purchasing from that person anymore. So 22B, agreed. Very good. 23, moving on. Which of the following is not needed when you are using microfilm? Which of the following is not needed when you are using microfilm? Microfilm, you need to have film. You also need to have aperture cards. Aperture cards is, let me show you. Aperture cards is this piece of material that holds the film together. So like this piece of white material is called it is called your aperture cards. It's used to hold your film in place to be used. So we need to have that, right? So you need to have the film, you need to have aperture cards. You might even need to have a printer because it might have documents that you have to print out and scan in order to put into your microfilm. The other one out there is D, magnetic tape, because magnetic tape is a totally different form of storage, right? And if you are using microfilm, there's no need to use tape. So your answer for 23 would be D. '24. Attitude of the receptionist. Which one of these or combination of these would be your answer for the attributes of a receptionist?
Miss, I want to say D.
You want to say nah. Actually, one of them is out.
Oh,
Two
well
is
then,
correct. Watch it again. 2 is correct and 1 is out. The answer is actually, yep, that's right. The answer is actually A. The receptionist has to have initiative and the person needs to be courteous to other people. That is correct. So your answer here is actually 1 and 2. Right? Influence is used when you are selling a product. So this will fall mostly under sales, but for receptionist it will be 1 and 2. So yeah, A. Number 25. A busy receptionist remembers having taken a call from a company executive from a regular client but cannot find the message. What should the receptionist do? So the receptionist takes a call from a company executive from a client, from a regular client, but cannot find the message. What should the receptionist do? Look at these responses. What do you all think? A, B, C, or D? Decide not to mention a call. That will be absolutely wrong. Hope that the client calls again. Again, wishful thinking. Tell the
I think
executive
it's C.
you're busy. Yeah, I am also leaning towards C. Yeah, because you wouldn't tell the executive that you are busy. No,
Yeah.
you would be afraid to even say that. So definitely C, right? You could call the client because the client is a regular client, which means that you will have the contact information for this particular person. So you could call back the client and get the information. So I would go with C. 25C, very good, Bauer. 26. A receptionist forgot to notify an executive of an appointment with a consultant, right? So the receptionist forgot to tell the executive of an appointment. When the consultant arrives to the appointment, the receptionist should immediately, so only at this point, the receptionist would remember that she was supposed to make an appointment, but she didn't. So what should be her next course of action? What do you think? A, B, C, or D?
Miss, I think the answer is A.
Ask the executive if he or she would meet with the consultant. Yes, because you don't know if the executive would have that time or not. Yeah, so you have to find out first if the executive has time to meet with the person. So 26 is A, definitely. Shavin, I would go with that answer as well. 27. The receptionist has been informed that Mr. Bell will be out of office for the day. However, Mr. Bell has a number of appointments. So what action should be taken? Mr. Bell is not in office, however, he has a bunch of appointments. What should the secretary do or the receptionist do? A, B, C, or D? Which is the best action there? Somebody else. Remember, you wouldn't want the clients to come and then Mr. Bell is not there. So what is the most appropriate
B.
action there? No, you wouldn't do, because in A, hear what A is saying, eh? A is saying you will tell them when they come, you will tell them why Mr. Bell is not there. I would be very upset if I had
Yeah,
to
I
take
said B.
time off. Which one?
I said B
Oh
because
yeah,
like it
you're
wouldn't make
correct.
sense
You're
for him
correct.
to come.
Yes, very good, right? I thought you said A. Right, number 27 is definitely B. Right, you will notify them by phone and you will offer to make a new appointment because you don't want to put people out of their way and you don't want to be unprofessional by having them come and then the person is not there. So I will definitely go with B. Let's go with 28. Where can we get foreign currency from? Which one of these places do we go to get money? Or if we have to change money, where do we go? I am traveling, I'm going abroad. I need to get money. Where would I go to get money if I'm traveling abroad?
A commercial bank?
Very good. The only answer is the bank. That's the only place that we are allowed to go to get money is the bank. So A, very good. Bala again there, 27, very good. Number 29. Assume that you have been elected to be the secretary of your school's thrift society. One of your duties is to do an agenda. So it's asking you here, what is the correct order when you are doing an agenda? Look at it carefully. This we would have done in written communication, and we also would have done this in meetings. For number 29, which of these is in the correct order? Look at them. Anybody, any thoughts? Which one you think will be first, or which one you think will be last? So remember, when we get questions like this, we start to use method of deduction to determine, right? So which one you think is first, or which one you all think is last? Tell me.
Approval of the minutes, matters arising.
Right, approval of the minutes has to be first, right? So we
Yeah.
have to approve the last minutes, right? So something with number 3 being first,
Wouldn't
right?
any other business be last?
Yes, any
Okay.
other business is always last. So which one is that? C, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so without even reading the rest, you know the answer is C. Very good. That is correct. Approval of the minutes is first. Any other business is always last, right? New thing business matters arising. Good. So you all could go with C safely. Very good. When is the most appropriate time for correcting the minutes of a meeting? When is the most appropriate time for correcting a minute? So if there was an error in the minutes, when is the most appropriate time? Is it A, anytime the secretary or the chairman detects an error? No, it wouldn't be that because remember, people will not be aware of the fact. Would it be D, at a subsequent meeting following the adoption of the minutes? Why would we adopt something if I think there is an error state? So definitely not D. Let's look at C. At the meeting at which the minutes are presented, but only after. Again, we don't wait until something is adopted because when it's adopted, it is already approved. So you
Then
need
it's
to do
B.
it. Yes, you need to do it before it is actually adopted. So yes, the answer here is B. 30B. Very good. So we have reached the midway mark of this paper. We have 60 questions. We're down 30 questions. Right, you all can see all of these questions. I want to give you all a few minutes to work on this for me. So look at 31 to 35. See what you all come up with. Some of these questions are actually repeat questions. See what you all come up with for me from 31 to 35. I'm just giving you a few minutes. Go ahead. Then I'll stop you and correct. All right, guys, let's look at question number 31. Which of the following duties are performed by a secretary prior to meeting? So this is from our meetings chapter. So what should the secretary do before meetings? Look at your options, then let's discuss it. You would definitely circulate the minutes of the last meeting because you'd want a refresher to give a refresher before the meeting. The secretary has to do seating accommodation to ensure that there is enough seats for everybody and nobody's left standing. So definitely 1 and 2. You definitely have to circulate the notice. The notice would give the information about the date of the meeting, the time of the meeting, where is the meeting being held, and the agenda is what has to be discussed in the meeting. You would do 1, 2, and 3. You have to do all of these. You actually have to remember when you're going to the meeting, you have to read over the minutes. So you would not actually get the chairman to sign before the reading. So I would look for something with 1, 2, and 3, which is what? C?
C, Miss.
So let's go with C. 31, C. 32, another question where you have to think about here. 2 staff members and a consultant were invited to a management committee meeting to discuss a particular item on the agenda. So 2 staff members meeting with 2 staff members and a consultant meeting to discuss something on an agenda. Which of the following persons should receive copies of the minutes of this meeting? Two staff members and a consultant were invited to a management committee meeting.
D, Miss.
Let me see. Everybody involved? Should I get that? Let me see. So members of the management committee who are present, definitely. Members who are absent should also know what is happening. So 1 and 2, definitely. Yes, the 2 staff members and yes, the consultant. So yeah, D. 32 is D. 33. The AGM for Infotech Limited is being planned. Annual general meeting, remember that only happens once a year, right? Because it's annual, right? Is being planned. Which of the following must be circulated before the meeting actually happens? What should be circulated before the meeting actually happens? Sorry. Every meeting must have a notice and agenda.
Answer is A, Miss.
Okay, let me see. So notice and agenda we must have, and minutes of the last. We definitely have to have the last minutes because remember that would have been a year ago. So definitely something with 1 and 2. It would not have minutes of a regular meeting because this is only held once a year. So anything with number 3 is completely out. Copy of the firm. No, this here it would mean the bylaws of the company. So I would go with 1 and 2. So A, that's correct. $34, writing a letter of application. You're writing a letter. What should go in your paragraphs? What should go in your paragraphs? Look at it. And again, use a method of deduction. In paragraph 1, you would have to tell the person what job you are interested in. So definitely have to start with number 3. Request for an interview is always your last paragraph. So this is first, this is last. After you tell the person your interest in the first paragraph, you will outline your qualifications, then you will give your list of references, and then you request an interview would be last. So what answer is that? Starting off with number 3, C. So question 34, your appropriate answer there is C. Right? Go back to all those different letters and you will see them. 35. The document which outlines the details for a business trip. Which document is that? That outlines a business trip. Give all the details about a business trip. Is it A, B, C, or D? Somebody different. Let me hear. Somebody is telling me A, no, not scheduled. Think back, we did this a couple of weeks ago where we discussed something in travel arrangements and we did some questions where we actually plan out something. What is it called? C, itinerary, right? Go back to your travel section and see what is an itinerary, right? The itinerary gives all the details of a business trip, right? Every single detail, like your flight, the airport you have to check in, when, arrival time, departure time, the hotel that you're staying with, the different meetings where you have those meetings, right? So the itinerary gives all of that information, and all business people, when they are going away on business, they will have an itinerary. So that's 35. Good. Let's go down. 36. Which of the following documents must a Caribbean citizen always have? Always have to submit to a port of entry before he or she can enter a country. What must we have if we want to travel abroad? What out of all of these things, I want to travel abroad, I must have which one? The most appropriate answer there, guys, is passport, right? You want to travel abroad, the first thing you must have is a passport. You don't always need a vaccination certificate. This only depends on where you are traveling. So this is not something that you must always have. And if you notice, number two was in all of them. And this is not always, but the always one would be the first one, a passport. So 36 is E. 37. What does ISO stand for? ISO stands for C, International Organization for Standardization. Please learn this acronym. ISO number 37 is C. Number 38. Which functions is performed by the HR office? Which of the following functions is performed by the HR office? Does the HR office prepare wages? Who prepares wages? Which department will do wages and salaries to pay people? Who deals with payments? Think about it. What department deals with payments? Payroll. The accounting department deals with payroll, right? Thank you for answering, right? So the accounting department deals with payroll. How about preparing job cards? Which department deals with job cards? That was one of the last topics we did. When we talk about job cards, we are talking about procurement and inventory, right? So the human resource department shortlist job application. And what does shortlist means? Shortlist means that they would go through all of the applications and you will choose from, if you have 100 applications, you will choose the most qualified 25 persons. So you will create a shortlist by choosing a certain number of persons out of those applications. So they have to shortlist, and they also arrange training, and they provide welfare for their staff. So 2 and 4, so B. Number 38, the answer is B. Fringe benefit. Fringe benefit means a benefit that comes with your job, right? It's a benefit that comes with your job. And it may not come with every job, but it's a benefit that comes with your job. But which one of these is not a benefit for employees? A, B, C, or D? Javon, do you know the answer to that one? A, B, C, or D? Not a fringe benefit. C, that is correct, Javon, because national insurance is something that is mandatory. You're supposed to pay that. So you don't get to choose if you're paying it or not. So it's not a fringe benefit. 39, the answer is C. Very good. 39, C. An employee becomes ill while on holiday and will therefore be late on returning to work. Which person should be notified if you are ill? Which person should be notified here if you are ill? Who sees about the welfare of staff? Which
The human resource manager.
Which one?
D.
D. Very good. Yes, that is very correct. Because the human resource manager is the one who oversees the welfare of the employee. Very good, Howard. So 40, the answer is D. Very good. Number 41. A company receives an invoice for goods on May 6th. The cost of the goods is $13.50. The terms on the invoice is written is 2/10 N/30. What will happen if the invoice is paid on May 8th? So what does 2/10 mean? Now, N30 represents 30 days, right? Got that right? And N represents a number, right? So N is number, 30 is 30 days. What does 2/10 mean? 2 means that you will get that these people receive a 2% discount if they pay within 10 days. Do we understand that statement? 2% discount if you pay within 10 days, only within 10 days. From the 11th day, the cost remains $13.50. But if you pay within 2 days, you will get, if you pay within 10 days, sorry, you will get 2% off, right? If you pay within 10 days, you get 2% off. So they paid on the 8th. Does that fall within 10 days? You got an invoice on the 6th and you pay the invoice on the 8th. Does that fall within 10 days or does it fall outside of the 10 days? Within or something outside? Tell me. Guys, you know, this is just to count, right? Number 6 on the calendar is the 6th day and the 8th day. What is the difference between these 2 days? What is the number difference here? How many days have elapsed between the 6th and the 8th? Right, thank you, Dominique, right. So 2 days, right? After the 6th, you have the 7th, you have the 8th. So it's 2 days. 2 days falls within the 10 days, therefore you will be given the 2% discount. So what's 2% of $13.50? Calculate that for me, somebody. 2% of $13.50.
27.
You get 27, check that back. Let me check it too. Yeah, you're right, 27. Very good, Shavin, right? And I'll check it, right? So 2% of $13.50 is 27. So $13.50 minus 27 is how much? $13.50 minus 27 gives you a total of how much?
1320.
$13.23. So which answer is that? The answer is C. So that's the answer for 41. C. Do you all understand how we got that, everybody? Number 42. the term by returns and a corresponding credit of 80 on an account on a statement of account means that the sum of 80 was by returns. What does by returns mean? Anybody knows? By returns mean that you return something, right? You return something. By returns means that you return something to a store, right? You have a corresponding credit of $80. That means you have what? $80 inside, right? Yeah. So what does that $80 mean? It means that once we have credit in a store, even so, like let's say you will pay extra on a bill, the extra amount that you pay is called credit, which means the next time you make a payment, that amount will be deducted from your credit because you would have paid extra, right? So for number 42, the answer is D. The $80 has to be deducted from the owing amount. So 42 is D. 43. Mr. Jones has a credit limit of $250. That means this store will give him credit up to $250. He submits an order for 5 school shirts costing $60. What action should the clerk take? So he has $250 in credit. He wants 5 shirts at $60. What should the clerk do?
B, miss?
B, right. What the clerk will do is show the order to the credit manager so that the credit manager would know that this person has a credit limit and he's applying the credit limit to this amount here. So instead of paying whatever the total is here, he would get a discount of this $250 because he has that in store credit. Right, let's go down. I'm going down to the other questions here. So let's look at 44 to 49. Let's look at 44 to 49. I'm going to give you a few minutes to look at that, and then I'm going to correct it, right? I'm going to give you a 5 minutes. Right, take a 5 or 6 minutes and see what you all can come up with for me from 44 to 49. Okay, guys, let's look at number 44. Number 44 refers to the following statements. So we have some figures there, balance brought forward, 2 invoices and a debit note. And the question is, what is the outstanding amount? And to get the outstanding amount, all we have to do is add up our figures from 60 to 1160. Add up these 4 numbers and tell me what is the answer there for 44. Add up all 4 numbers. Tell me what's your answer. Tell me what, if it falls, if it's A, B, C, or D. All right, please add your numbers 60, 150, 78, and 1160. What answer do you all get when you add up all 4 values? Right, so when you add it up, you will get 299.60. So your answer is A. So your answer for 44 is A, number 45. What should Mr. Jones do if his cash book and his bank statement show a difference of $20? What would Mr. Jones do if his cash book and bank statement show a difference of $20? The first thing you would do if you see a difference of $20 is check your cash book against your bank statement, right? Check your cash book against your bank statement to ensure that all the entries were being put in. So the answer would actually be A, which is to reconcile his bank statement with his cash book. It basically means that you are checking one against the other to ensure that all the transactions are there. So question 45, the answer is A. Question 46. The cancelled check that one receives with a bank statement are those checks that are, so the bank sends you cancelled checks with your bank statement. That means what? That those checks have already been cashed, right? The bank will cancel it because it's already been cashed, which means that no person can try to cash it twice, right? So which one would it be? So 46 there would be B, because the bank already exchanged those for cash. So 46, your answer is B. Number 47. Mr. Parker is trying to prepare a bank rec statement. He's unable to complete it because a check paid to the utility company for $60 is unaccounted for, right? So you cannot balance it because of that $60. In order to reconcile the bank statement with the cash book, what should he do with that $60? See? See? No, he will not do that. He will actually, you know what he would do? He would actually do D. He will take it away from the bank statement balance. Why? Because it's unaccounted for, which means that the utility company hasn't cashed or done anything with that check. So what he can do, he can just remove that $60 so that everything can balance and carry that forward. So number 47, the answer is actually D. Right? Number 47, your answer is D. Number 48, which of the following would be the most economical purchase price. Which of the following will be the most economical purchase price? And all I want you all to do is take your calculator and multiply out these figures to me. 20 by 50, then 22 by 50, and so on. But usually when you get a question, right, and the question asks you which is most economical, usually the most economical is usually CIF, which is cost, your insurance, and freight. And in cost, insurance, and freight, it basically means that there are no hidden charges. Right? And that is something that we would have done in one of your chapters as well. Right? When we did procurement, you all would have come across that term, cost, insurance, and freight. It means that there are no hidden charges there. Because free on board, it still means that when the goods reaches you, you still have to pay customs, and you still have to pay the cost of transportation. So this would probably still be a more expensive deal, right? 24 at 50 less 5% trade discount. You all could work it out, multiply 24 by 50 and then find 5% of it. Right? And same thing with your trade discount, but most often, even without even working it out, usually the most economical is the one that has cost, insurance, and freight. Most economical is CIF. So I would go with 48, B and A, right? But you all can still work it out and see, but my answer would be 48A. That will still come out the cheaper option there. Number 49. Joy High School wants to build a new canteen. In order to select the most suitable firm for the job, the school should invite firms to submit what? You want different firms to come and work at the canteen. So which one of these would they have to do? A, B, C, or D? This is something we also discussed in our procurement chapter. All businesses that advertising for services or goods, they put something on the newspaper. What is something that they put on the newspaper?
Tenders.
Very good. Number 49, the answer is the attender. Oh, look, and in number 50, look at this question, which I gave away the answer to. Number 50. Assuming a similar quality and quantity of goods at the same rate of insurance coverage, which of the following shipping terms give the greatest benefits? And the greatest benefit is always given with CIF because there is no hidden charges. So question 50, without a doubt, the answer is B. It is now 3 o'clock, and I want us to pause just for 10 minutes, but I'm going to leave these 4 questions up here, right? We're going to pause for 10 minutes, so at 10 past 3, we're going to come back and we're going to wrap up this paper at 10 past 3. Okay, guys, are we back from break time? So we are ready with number 51. Are you guys back?
Yes, miss.
Okay, great. Good. Okay, good. So let's look at number 51. On the morning of April 20th, there's a stock card for leather bags. There's currently 650 bags in stock, right? There's currently 650 bags in stock. However, later on that day, the company receives a further 150 bags. They received a further 150 bags. So they have 650 already, and to that, they are adding 150 bags. 90 bags were sold. Which of the following entries would be correct on the stock card for April 20th? So we are seeing, so when we look here, we are seeing words like receipts and issues and balance. And that is something I would have discussed with you in one of the previous chapters, right? What those things mean, right? And that we would have spoken about that in our procurement chapter, right? So receipts mean, let me just share my screen again. We have receipts. Right. So receipts, another word for receipts would be those items received. And another word for issues would be those goods that are sold. Right? So receipts means received. Issues means goods that have been sold, and balance would obviously mean the goods that we have remaining in stock. Right? So let's go back to our question. So let me ask you, how much goods did the company receive? How much goods did the company receive on that day? How much goods did they receive? Is it 650, 150, or 90? How much goods did they receive on April 20th? I'm seeing somebody saying something. Let me check. No, read over the question. In stock, they have 650. Later that day, they received 150 bags. They sold 90 bags. Out of these three numbers, how many bags did they receive on that particular day? Not in stock already. How many bags did they receive on that particular day on April 20th? The answer is no, the answer is 150. Read it, watch it. Later that day, they got what? 150 bags. Are you all seeing that? So I'm asking you, how many bags did they receive on April 20th? On April 20th, they already had this in stock. I'm not asking that. I'm asking how many bags did they receive on that particular day? The answer is 150. So they received 150 bags. Right? And on April 20th, they received 150 bags. How many bags did they sell on that day? How many bags did they sell? They sold a total of 90 bags. So now we're going to figure out what is the balance. So remember, it had 650 bags in stock, plus added to that stock to get 150 bags. And then whatever we get there, we have to minus the 90. So what would I get there? 650 add 150 minus 90 gives me what? Tell me. I'm just asking.
$710.
Perfect. Right? So on April the 20th, they received 150 bags. On that day, they received 150 bags. They also sold 90 bags on that day. So what is their balance? They had 650 in stock before. They add to that, they have to add the 150 that they got, and then they are minusing the amount that they sell, which is 710. So let's see which answer is closest to that. So we know for sure that the balance is 710. We know for sure the issues is 90 because they sold 90 and they received 150 on the day. So the answer is A, 2 only. So the correct answer for 51 is E. Number 52. Which of
answer is B.
A? I just said A.
Oh yeah, now B. I have B.
Okay, great. Right, 52. Which of the following activities are normally carried out by the sales department of a wholesale grocery? Which of the following activities is carried out by the sales department? So we're looking at sales department, so your sales chapter. Look at it.
B?
Sales department carried out by the sales department of a wholesale grocery. The answer you're telling me is B. Let me see. Yes, they will have to do preparation of invoices and they will have to submit purchase requisitions. Yes. So I will go with that. So 52, we will go with B. That is correct. 53. Which of the following functions is not performed by the sales clerk? Which of these is not performed by the sales clerk?
Preparing the index of suppliers.
Exactly. The purchasing clerk does this. Exactly. So number 53, I would go with C because that is what the purchasing manager or clerk does. Correct. 54. Let's go. Which of the following pieces of information should be used in preparing a sales quotation? So you have to go to your format of a quotation and see which one of these headings is found in your quotation. And the headings that is found in your quotation would be price, goods available, delivery dates, and the terms of payment. So 54, the answer is B. So not only do you have to know the definition for these things, but you also have to know what pieces of information is found on the document as well. All right, so 54, B. Number 55. On what date should you order paper? So let's take a look at this here. Minimum paper you should have is 20. On what date should an order be placed for paper?
January 7th.
Yes, because the closest minimum amount there will be 30. So anything that have to be deduced under there, you don't want it to be less than 20. At any point in time, you don't want it to be less than 20. So your most appropriate date, I agree, would be January the 7th. Right? When you have 30 reams is when you should place your order. Right? Because look, after it reaches here, it goes all the way down to 2. So you don't ever want to run out of paper. So the most appropriate date would be here. Correct. 56 going down. Which of the following documents originates from the carrier as a contract between the carrier and the supplier when goods are shipped? There's a document here that acts as two things. A contract between the carrier and the supplier when goods are shipped. Right? And the answer, bill of lading, very good. Yes, the answer there is bill of lading. Please go back through all of these chapters where you have these different documents and read through your definitions, right? 56, 57. Which of the following document must be prepared when you are shipping goods by air. You are shipping goods by air. You must have what and what. It's two answers because everything here has two responses. So to ship by air, I must have an airway bill because it's being shipped by air. So definitely something with number 1 in it. Which one?
A.
You think it's A? Look again.
Oh no, B, miss. I think it's
That's
B.
right. So it'll have an airway bill and you would have to have an invoice, right? Because you have the airway bill, it'll be airway bill and invoice. So 57, yes, I would go safely with that answer, which is B. Number 58. Which of the following actions does not represent corporate social responsibility? Remember, social responsibility means that the company is giving back to the community, they are giving back to the area in which the company is located. So which one of these is not social responsibility?
C.
This is something we did already.
C.
No, C is correct. Yeah, no, that is correct. That would be social responsibility. Environment friendly means that you are protecting the environment. So no, C would be correct. Which is not?
D.
D would be not, because distributing vouchers at a corporate function. A corporate function means, corporate means with what I mean, big business people. So it basically means a company giving back to business people. So that's not really helping the community, right? That is not them giving back. So yeah, I would go with D. 59, we did this already too. What appears first on your resume?
Name.
Name. That's correct, right? So your name is first on your resume. We did this one as well. Which of the following is the most appropriate action to take if you are offered a job and you do not wish to accept the job? If you do not wish to accept a job, what do you do? A, B, C, or D?
C.
C, very good. You write a letter thanking the human resource officer, but you decline the job offer so that they can keep it on file. So I would safely go with C, right? And that brings us to the end of our paper.